When it comes to the Senate trial, Senator Grassley, you've said that you view your role as an impartial juror in this process. Is that still where you stand?
Yes, and if you would read what I said in 1999, you'd say exactly the same thing, and I see my role as exactly the same. Listen to prosecution, listen to defense. Whatever needs to be done after that, we'll have to decide at that point. But I think constitutionally, I should see myself as a juror, even though people say, well, you're judge and jury in the Senate. But I see it this way. Listen to the evidence and say guilty or not guilty, just like you would if you were in a jury in a criminal case.
So since you view your role that way, I mean, do you take issue with the comments that Mitch McConnell made this morning about how he doesn't see himself as an impartial juror in this process?
I would imagine that we got 100 senators and you got 100 different points of view on this whole issue.
Senator Durbin, what would a fair Senate trial look like to you?
Well, before I came to the Congress, I was a trial lawyer. I know what a trial looks like. There is a judge and a jury. This is a little different, as Senator Grassley mentioned. And there's the presentation of evidence to be considered by the prosecution, by the defense. I know what evidence is. Most people do. By and large, it's documentation, materials, and of course, it's testimony by either individuals or by deposition. So you gather that evidence and you reach the best conclusion you can based on the evidence. So I hope that we have a hearing that brings facts before us that we can consider, brings witnesses, and we can judge whether or not they are truthful or not in our own estimation. That's the nature of a real trial. I think people want us to respect one another, and they want us to respect the Constitution, and they want to make sure that this trial is respectful as well.
Is your mind made up?
Of course, I think it goes without saying that each of us is leaning in one direction or the other based on our own views of what's happened to this point or even the politics of the moment. But when we raise our hand and say we swear to stand by impartial justice, so help me God, it means we've got to really open our ears and hear both sides of it before we reach a conclusion. I think that's what that oath is all about.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.